Hi, this is Angela G. from NoLongerLukewarm.com for Red Hot Christians and Wannabes. If you like to listen while you're doing something else, this is for you. If you prefer to read the blog posts, you can catch the URL in the description box below. So this one is going to be called Message in the Moisturizer, We Can Choose Change. We can choose change. Even after we make a bad choice, we don't have to live with it forever. Recently, God taught me a very valuable lesson about choices and consequences using two very different kinds of face cream. Bad choices are often made in haste. It all started when I decided that I needed some moisturizer. I was at a discount store, and as I scanned the shelves at all the tons and tons of choices, it wasn't long before my eyes stopped on the small pink bottle. It was the kind my grandmother always used when I was growing up. I still remember her making the joke that it was oil of old lady. The price was fairly cheap, and I was in a hurry, so I grabbed it and went. The next morning when I was getting ready for work, I put a little dollop in my hands. As I proceeded to rub it on my face, I just could not believe how bad it smelled. I grimaced as I finished rubbing it in. I hoped the smell would go away fast so that I could breathe the rest of the day. Thankfully it did. So the next day, I used it again. The smell was just as bad or worse the next day, but I had paid good money for it, and it would be a waste to throw it away. After 4 or 5 days of using it, I noticed that my face was broken out in pimples in several areas, and I was honestly starting to dread putting it on. But I had made my choice, so I was going to have to live with it. For over a week, I kept using that terrible face cream. Finally, one day it occurred to me that God is a very good provider. I'm not rich by any means, but I was not so broke that I couldn't afford another bottle of lotion if I needed it. I pitched it hard into the trash and went to work. But we can choose change. Later, when I went to the store, I pulled out my phone and I looked up the brands with the best reviews. Narrowing it down to a few, I lifted lids and checked out scents before I decided on a bottle of oil-free Neutrogena. It was about $5 more than the first purchase. The next day, when I put on my new lotion and I smelled that deliciously clean smell, I felt so very thankful to God, not just for the fresh new scent, but because I didn't have to endure the old one anymore. For about 3 days, it was seriously a spiritual thing. I felt a giant rush, an overflow of love for God each time I used that new lotion. My skin felt great and the pimples were clearing up, but it was actually a little bewildering how strongly grateful I felt for such a little thing as face cream. The 4th day, as I was getting ready for church, I put on that moisturizer again. And again, I felt that spiritual rush of love and gratitude to God. And it hit me why I had such a strong reaction. He was teaching me a lesson. See, in life we often make bad choices. Sometimes we pick things because that's the way it's always been done in our families. Sometimes we choose things because they're cheaper or easier or because they seem like they're going to solve all our problems. And when we make those choices, even the ones that hurt us, even the ones that are uncomfortable, we think to ourselves that we made our beds and so now we have to lie in them. The lesson for us all. But God was showing me that just because we made one bad choice doesn't mean we have to keep choosing it forever. He makes a way for us in Him so that we can get out of any bad situation with His help. We can choose change. Maybe it will cost us some money. Maybe it will cost us time and effort to research our options. But whatever the cost, it will be better than continuing to live with the consequences of our bad choices when God enables us to live a better way. Psalm 145:18 tells us that the Lord is near to all who call upon Him, to all who call upon Him in truth. God cares about even the little things and wants to help us live the lives He has called us to live. We all make bad choices sometimes, but we don't have to keep choosing them. God is with us in every situation. With His help, we can feel better and be happier. We make the choice to choose change.